Welcome to the Daily Decant, your 5-minute briefing on the world of wine. Each episode delivers practical insights to help you choose, order, and talk about wine with more confidence in everyday social settings. Let's get into today's decant. We are wrapping up the week of the WSET Level 1 exam thoughts from me taking it about 2 weeks ago now at this point. And I want to open today with the most honest summary I can give of what this week and the WSET Level 1 experience actually meant to me. Taking this after 160 plus episodes of the show did not make me significantly more knowledgeable about wine. The information in the curriculum was, with a few specific exceptions, information I mostly already had. But what it did, and this is the thing that surprised me the most, was it showed me how that information was organized, or more accurately, how it wasn't organized. And then it gave me a skeleton to put it in. The recap of the week. Monday, a personal story, why I took the exam, what the experience was like, and a specific thing that surprised me about having conventional wine knowledge formally tested. Tuesday, the geographic and style framework that the WSET Level 1 uses to map the wine world and how seeing that simplified map changes the way that I thought about all individual regional deep dives the show has done. Wednesday, the systematic approach to tasting, the 4-stage formal tasting methodology that WSET uses across all its levels, and what applying it formally revealed about my own tasting habits and where my attention had been slipping. Thursday, storing, serving, and pairing, the section I was most dismissive of going in and most impressed by coming out. The specific serving temperature ranges that most home drinkers get wrong in both directions, the 5 storage conditions that affect wine quality over time, the food matching principles articulated precisely in a framework rather than a series of disconnected rules. Friday, what WSET Level 1 didn't cover, vintage variation, producer reputation, natural wine, the emerging regions and grapes that make wine so exciting right now, and what the WSET pathway looks like from Level 2 through the diploma and the Master of Wine, plus an honest assessment of whether formal wine education is worth pursuing for someone who simply wants to drink better. Saturday, the practical guide for keeping the learning going after a qualification ends, a wine journal habit, the books, the digital resources, and human relationships that matter most. So, the honest verdict is it's best structured introduction to wine knowledge that exists, designed for people who want to engage with wine seriously but are at the very beginning of their formal education. For someone with no prior wine experience, it would be transformative. For someone with significant accumulated wine experience like me, or many regular listeners of the show, it's less about new information and more about the experience of having that information formally structured, tested, and organized. That experience has a lot of value. I emerged it from feeling more confident, not only because I knew more, but because I knew what felt more solid and more retrievable. That's the specific gift of formal education that informal learning can't fully replicate. So I'd recommend, based on the week, if you are early in your wine journey and want a formal starting point, WSET Level 1 is worth doing. 1 day, accessible curriculum, exam that tests your attention and retention rather than your depth of knowledge. If you're further along and want to deepen your formal knowledge significantly, Levels 2 or 3 offer dramatically more depth and is where the real transformation happens for those with existing experience. And if you simply want to keep learning without a qualification, the wine journal, one good book, a trusted wine shop relationship, and a regular tasting habit will serve you better than any course. Next week, we're going somewhere new. We've been in the classroom this week, and so we're going to go back out to the wine world next week, and I promise it's going to be worth the wait. And one thing I want to close with is that the WSET reminded me most of clearly. Wine is a subject that rewards exactly the combination of intellectual engagement and sensory pleasure that makes life more interesting. You can engage with it at any level and find something really worthwhile there. The formal qualification is one way in, the show is another. A bottle opened with a curious friend on a Tuesday evening is a third way. None of these are wrong. All of them are part of the same practice, the practice of paying attention to what's in the glass and finding it worth thinking about. Stay subscribed, and until then, open something you've never had before and write a couple sentences about it. The sentence is the beginning of everything. That's today's Daily Decant. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe and share with your friends so you can continue building your wine knowledge in just a few minutes a day. We'll see you tomorrow for the next Decant.